And shiny beacons of light. It's bright and shiny, Michael, but we'll get there more in a moment. I want to welcome you so much to such a beautiful evening ahead on a channeled message from Archangel Michael for the month of March, a very, very special event indeed. Before I do that, we have been recording all weekend. We've been recording an angels program. We've been recording an angel numbers program. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Well, Jessica has been saying for a while that we needed great change. That's my wife, Jessica. If this is your first event, we'll get to this channel co-creation in just a minute. And she's been saying that she needed me to shave. It's been almost 2.5 years since I was kissed or hit by a car and had quite a bit of scarring and cuts on my face and all sorts of stuff. And that's when I went with a beard, and that beard has been with me for the last 2.5 years. But we've been making some very powerful energetic shifts having to do with the angels at this time. And it just felt right. And so with it's a backstage pass video if you're a backstage pass member. With Hannah Bear, my 22-month-old daughter in 2 days. Oh, there's a 222. With her at the helm holding on to the razor, we shaved my beard off this weekend. And I can't see other than something on the right side. I mean, there's a couple tiny little things. I can't see any scarring. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? So, all right, let us dive into things. This is channel co-creation with Archangel Michael. What does that mean? It means I go into automatic writing, a process that I teach. I've got a live class coming up in a few weeks. And I go into this process each morning and I write to my angels and guides. Now, for this class, what ended up happening, and usually I go in 1 to 3 days before an event, and I will channel for that coming evening. So typically for tonight's event, I would channel on, say, Saturday. However, this weekend, I was channeling to record a whole bunch of angel videos, and I recorded approximately 20, I think, maybe it was 19 over the weekend. And so I was getting channeling for that. But then last night I went to sleep and Archangel Michael got me up and got me up and got me up. And he said, well, here's what we're going to be talking about for this month. Okay, great. Can I go back to sleep? Well, here's what we're going to be talking about this month. Really? Are you sure about that? Yes, you're sure. Okay, can I go back to sleep? And finally, I don't know, I think I was in kind of a twilight stage after 4 o'clock before I finally crawled out of bed this morning and said, I give up. Not a you win, because it's all of us win, but I give up. Let's see what you want to share with me. Although I had already gotten a good inkling or hint of what is coming for March. Now, let me prepare you first. Let us all seatbelt. Let us all massage ourselves at the back of our necks. Or go, wow, that's squeaky clean. Actually, it's kind of sandpapery here tonight, but I'm I asked Hannah Bear what she thought, and she first saw it shaved, and she goes, "No." Then she touched it, and I think she likes it now. All right, this is going to be a very positive message. Is not necessarily going to be an easy message. Why? Well, we're in 2024. 2024 by design for us to elevate, for us to ascend, for us to come to a higher level of beingness. It's not an easy year, particularly at this level of consciousness, meaning there will become a time and a place, hopefully in the not too distant future, where humanity doesn't learn with strife, with challenge, with pain, with suffering, with difficulties that we can learn, well, almost right on the couch. This is not that time. And and we do learn at this time through challenges. When humanity's back is against the wall, we tend to make great change. So there are many changes that get to occur this year, that get to occur as far as us coming together as one, as far as us leading or leading from the heart, as us, well, finding a completely different way of leadership, compassionate leadership that is all about how can we help each other rather than how can I conquer and take over and rule over somebody. So there are all these changes that get to take place. Obviously, changes in how we relate to and respect the earth, and that is a huge piece of our existence here in the Sandler household. And we keep asking ourselves on a daily basis, how can we make a bigger difference there? All of these pieces are going to come to the surface in 2024 and then some. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go over my notes with you that I got from Archangel Michael. And most of the time, it's going to sound like it's coming from me because it's a channel co-creation. We go through, we talk, we have a discussion. I go and rewrite things later in the day. My team member, Anne, helps me get out all the typos so that I can read it more clearly. Thank you, Anne. Of course, I and Anne in moderation as well. And I share it with you. So some of the things may have changes in tenses, changes in what person it appears to come from. But just bear with me here and let's have some fun. All right. Let's have some fun. Where do we start this? Okay, the first sentence basically that I've got here. So I'm just going to read to you what I've got. And actually, the lights, because you end up with studio lighting, the lights are so bright. They're so bright, I've got to wear shades that I'm getting a tremendous glare in the glasses. Okay. I can't believe I'm going to read this line. That's why I'm really cleaning my glasses. The theme for this month is, oh God, hatred, violence, death, destruction, and how, here's the positive, how we can turn it into love, how we can turn hatred into love, or how we can turn weapons, thank God, into plowshares. In other words, and the language that Archangel Michael uses is so not my language. It's a time where we get to call on our personal armies. I'm going, Archangel Michael, and there's a bronze statue of him behind me holding a sword. Of course, he's calling in personal armies. We get to call in personal armies, starting with our loved ones, and turn the energy of the world into weapons of peace. So we get to call in a personal army to call in weapons of peace. Archangel Michael, I went to him and I said, why are we talking in such violent language? And he said, I'm using polarized language for a reason, because this is exactly what the powers that be are doing as well, though completely in reverse. So I'm not a conspiracy guy. I don't believe in this big, bad, ugly, whatever. And at the same time, humans act as humans do until we choose otherwise. What does that mean? Humans act as humans do. It means that those in power want to stay in power. Who can blame them? They're like, well, we get the cake and we get to eat it too. Or cake, frosting, they get all the good stuff. So those in power want to stay in power. Totally makes sense. It's not a conspiracy thing. It's just human, I'm putting that in quotes, human nature. Meaning before we remember that we're divine energetic beings having a divine energetic or angelic experience in human form. Or before we learn that there's an incredible power to grace, something I'm teaching in this month's School of Mystics, that if we plug into the power of grace over power, I guess you could say the power of grace over the grace over power, there's even more energy to be played with. But since right now the powers that be are going to a place of hatred, going to a place of violence, going to a place of derision and division, that's why Archangel Michael is saying an army of peace right now. That's what we get to be. So in a month of attempted growing hatred, I'm going to put that in quotes, attempted growing hatred. It's all these people. It's all the blues. It's all the reds. It's all the polka dots. It's all those Europeans. I don't know. It's whomever. Well, forget about the Russians and the this and the that. It's all derision and division in an attempt to keep themselves in power by pitting you against me. Well, you don't share the same God as me. Clearly, you're broken. You're not human. You don't deserve to be here. What? Doesn't make sense, does it? I better put up a wall. I better protect myself against you. It doesn't make any sense. They're trying to make March the you against me month. But I'm here to tell you, we're having none of it. That's you. That's me. That's those of us that are awake. And if you're here, you're awake. If you're in the School of Mystics, you're awake. If you're talking with your angels and guides, you're awake. If you're watching this video, you are awake. Not the stolen term woke. That ain't nothing to do with this. But awake means is you're viewing the world from a higher perspective, and you can sniff out stuff coming out of the tail end of a bull when you hear it. It ain't us versus them. It is actually quite the reverse. It is such a special, sacred, beautiful, wonderful, incredible time to be alive. It's just in disguise. This is such a special time of the world to be alive because this is the ascendance. This is when humanity shifts. This is when we come out of the chrysalis, when we come onto the cocoon, when we awaken, or as I like to say, this is the time that I call the quickening. It's the quickening of energies. It's the quickening of change. It's the quickening of, oh my God. And then, oh my God, as we're spiraling upwards faster and faster and faster until boom, we pop, we shift like an electron. We hit a state change and we find peace and quiet and bliss and love at a higher level. That's the power of grace. That's also what I'm teaching this month, is how we can take that crazy frenetic energy and bring ourselves to a state of peace at a higher level. So it is a brilliant time to be alive, even if it feels like such the reverse. Why? Well, there's so much energy. There's so much anxiety, which we can turn actually in positive energy. And apparently there are so many bombs being thrown around. That doesn't make me feel good to be alive. That just saddens me tremendously that there are so many bombs being thrown around and bullets being thrown around. However, everything is not as it appears to be. What do we mean? Why are there bombs? Why are there bullets? Why are there hatred? Why are there violence? Why are there's pointing fingers and attacks and accusations? There's also love. There is so much love at this time. There is so much neighbor to neighbor communing going on, meaning it ain't carried in the news, it ain't in the magazines, it ain't making it maybe even to Facebook. But we're loving up our neighbor like never before. We're loving up the person in line. We're loving up the person next to us. Hopefully, we're even loving up the person at the coffee at the coffee machine. But this is a time of greater love and kindness. I saw a beautiful bumper sticker. It's a firefighter in town, a volunteer firefighter. Every time I pop out of the trail by the fire station here in Palm Springs, Palm Coast, I see this bumper sticker on this back of this car. It's not a MAGA bumper sticker, but it plays off of it. It's Maca. What in the world is Maca? Make America kind again. That's where we're heading. We're heading into a time of greater grace, of greater compassion, of greater kindness. And how does it get any better than this? And another K word would be kinship, neighbor to neighbor. So we can't allow the powers that be to throw a dark veil over us or to throw a heavy dark cloth over us, to shroud us or to cover us with hatred, anger, and enmity. And that's what they're trying to do right now. We are being played in the news. I don't care if you watch the Epic Times, the New York Times, the Washington Times, the HuffPost, USA Today, Christian Science Monitor, whatever you read, it will give you reasons that it's them, it's you, it's the other people. And they'll take you on this roller coaster ride where they give you hope, they yank it all away. They give you hope, they dash it, and they will leave you pissed off like a mofo. That's a technical term, sort of like the tail end of the bull. They will leave you pissed off like a mofo at someone or anyone else, which does two things. One, it increases the energy of hatred on this planet. Two, it decreases your power, something we talked about last month with Archangel Michael. It strips your power away by putting you in the victim role. It's them. It's him. It's her. They're doing this to me. Nobody ain't doing anything to you, except you may be choosing to get in alignment with their hatred, with their anger, with their enmity. So this is so important to understand right now. And this is what I like to call the crazy positive, crazy positive message. And Archangel Michael loves it when I use that word crazy positive message. And I think I had crazy beautiful in a daily woohoo newsletter this morning. And if you haven't signed up to our daily woohoo, it's free. And every day I help bring your energy up. People can share about it in the chat here. dailywoohoo.com. It's free. It brings your energy up, way up. And today I was talking about crazy beautiful, a crazy beautiful day. The energy today is crazy beautiful, and it is perfect, pure craziness. Perfect, pure craziness. What does that mean? The powers that be, particularly in this month, going into March, are going to do everything they can to separate us, everything they can to tear us apart and make it us against them. When, in reality, put that in quotes because this is a holodeck, this is a hologram, this is a holographic representation of what's going on inside of us. Meaning all the derision and division you see out here is really us against our ego. Every time you watch a movie and you see Joseph Campbell's arc, you see the wounded hero in the beginning who then rises up, then gets dashed, and then comes back from like a phoenix rising from the ashes. That's the battle that's going on inside of each and every one of us. And that's the battle that we're then projecting onto the movie theater and movie screen. Talk about your IMAX of the world around us, a 360-degree screen, until we choose something different, until we choose from a higher level, until we choose what I'm teaching about this month in the School of Mystics. Love to have you join us. The power of grace and tapping into something even greater for you, the amazing, incredible projector that you are. There is no us against them. If there were an us against them, it would be us against the powers that be that are trying to take us from our power. But guess what? Any us against them is going to lead to the exact result that we do not want. So when you see somebody throwing a darkened cloth over you and telling us, well, you've got to fight them, what you need to do is go, oh my God, this is this poor person's wound speaking. I need to energetically give them a bear hug. I need to energetically send them so much love, whether you agree with them or disagree with them. If anybody is pointing the finger at anybody, they need love. That is the power of grace. They need so much love. This doesn't mean that you drain yourself. This doesn't mean that you go party with a narcissist. What this means is you do the Care Bear stare. You open your heart. You drop your shields. You send them as much love. I send love. I send love. You send love. Then you change the channel and get the heck out of Dodge. But anybody who is pointing a finger needs so much love. So they're so wounded, such a wounded inner child, which is all of humanity. We all need love at this point. We can all have our buttons pushed. I got my buttons pushed 4 times by my count within the last hour or two before the show. I needed so much love. We all do, though. We all do. So there is no us against them. Even if governments will have you believe otherwise, even if political parties will have you believe otherwise, even if the press, whatever is your favorite press du jour, would have you believe otherwise. Now, if you can look through this veil, what I call the veil of silence or the cloak of secrecy, if you can see that the government is designed to keep us separate, to keep us under control. At the end of the day, whether you want the reds, whether you want the blues, they do the same thing. You ever notice that? They have to keep fighting each other, because if they don't keep fighting each other, then we won't be voting for them. Think about that for a minute. It's a method of control so they can do what they desire. It ain't about a conspiracy. It's about the expression divide and conquer. Now, some people would say, oh, you mean there's really only one thing and they're going for a one world order? No, that's not what I'm saying. There is a one world dysfunction going on right now, and that seems to be what they're going about. But what's really going on, and the reason this is having blowback in this beautiful month of March, is we're going from dysfunction to the fun. We're going from a time period of humanity in such great pain, and it comes out on all the animals, on all the trees, on all the plants. I've watched a few more giant swath of acreage be taken down here for shopping centers and things of that sort recently, and my heart just cries. But these are vestiges of the old paradigm. It's really a time, and this March is a time of incredible goodness. It's a time when humanity is rising up, a time when humanity is waking up. It's inevitable and it can't be stopped. And that's coming from Archangel Michael himself. It's inevitable and it can't be stopped. So he likens it to the climate right now. Now, you may not be aware of it. You may be. We've been going through the warmest winter in modern history of humanity. And chances are I'm a weather geek. I'm a climate nut. We're going to go through the warmest spring and then the hottest summer ever, leading to the hottest year ever before La Nina settles herself in, and not a moment too soon. And I have my fingers crossed that La Nina comes in sooner rather than later so that there's not a crazy hurricane season here, particularly on the East Coast, although I don't want anybody to have any megastorms. But what Archangel Michael says is that the climate right now is at a tipping point, and he likens it to humanity. He would say, as is humanity. We have reached and passed, in this case, a beautiful tipping point for humanity. You could say a point of no return. Woohoo! This is the good stuff. Point of no return to beauty, to love, to understanding. And most importantly, and the reason you might be getting 111 or 1111, and one of the reasons that we're putting out an angel numbers program coming out is when you're seeing those repeating digits of ones, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, you catch that clock and you see that, is we are going more to a state of unity consciousness now than ever. We're going to a state of oneness. So the old guard is fighting with a lot of blowback. Why? They want to put us back to sleep. Well, guess what? I've been reading some interesting books to Hannah Bear about butterflies recently. And there is a brilliant one. I'm not going to get the author's name right now. And we found about it out about it from Miss Rachel. And the book is The Impatient Caterpillar. And the impatient caterpillar doesn't want to get in the cocoon, doesn't want to stay in the cocoon, gets out of the cocoon too early. Spoiler alert, I won't give away what happens next. But the reverse is going on right now. In the month of March, they, whoever they is, are trying to put us back in the cocoon. And guess what? And I'm sure somebody will say it here in the chat. We've already grown our wings. We don't fit back in the cocoon. It just ain't possible. It's like we've grown the second heart that's so huge, so immense, so incredible. Woohooedness. Your heart is so big now. You can't stuff it back in the cocoon. You couldn't even if you tried. Another reason, sorry, if I give many shameless plugs tonight, and I'm shameless, for our School of Mystics, it's because we are going to take this enlarged heart that you now have, that you feel very sensitive, that you feel like you don't know what to do with, and we're going to help you learn how to use this power, to use this sensitivity, to use this grace, use this goodness, use this energy in March and beyond at the highest level. That's why I keep bringing it up. But we can't take that second heart and stuff it back in or put it back in the cocoon. It ain't possible. No matter how much anger they throw your way, no matter how much hurt they throw your way, no matter what they do, you have become unstoppable, as has all of humanity. This is the month where we've hit the tipping point to goodness. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It's interesting. I keep on hitting the mic like this. The tipping point of goodness. Oh, there. We can tighten it. And it was Hannah Bear who chose the yellow, of course, the yellow microphone cover. And she has good taste. This is an incredibly hopeful time to be alive. Or I'm going to read Archangel Michael's language here. It's actually incredibly hopeful, dear one. For you can use hatred and vitriol as a marker to measure how far humanity has come. And the more they blow back, the more they attack, and the more they do what we shall only describe as weird things, be it bombs, be it missiles, be it wars, be it walls, etc., the more it means we, and by that, humanity, the love of humanity has got them on the run. I want you to understand this. When you see silliness, when you see craziness, when you see insanity, when you see something that just tears at your heart, like here, and there are only 350 right whales left because Hannah Bear is learning about whales and dolphins right now. When you feel that pull, that tear at your heart, and you go, I've got to do something, it means you've just been infused with pure, loving goodness, kind, compassion, and grace. And that energy is going to help you project a new reality on the entire world around you just by being you. And how does it get any better than this? So while the theme, well, how do we put it? While the theme appears to be hatred this month, and that's what you're going to see all around you, the real theme is bringing love to the hatred. The answer is always love. What's going on right now in March 2024 is can I use that term? They're going, yes, 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 is a rebellion. Oh my God, please, really? A rebellion of love, a rising up of love. We've heard love will conquer all, love is winning, and love will win the day. And I can hear the Beatles, of course, going, all we need is love. Dun, 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 dun. It's true, though. It's actually crazy true. There was an article that I missed getting to read. I got to go back and find it. I don't remember which publication put it out. There was Forbes Inc., one of those, who said the 6 verbs that make you seem weak in 2024. And I'm guessing, I don't know if love is a verb, love would be a noun, but I'm guessing people think the word love is weak. Well, guess what, folks? Love, grace, kindness, compassion. These are the most powerful, forgiveness. These are the most powerful, we'll throw gratitude in there too. They keep giving me more words, are the most powerful words there are. We see these words this week. Oh, I don't want anybody to think that I'm just, warm and fuzzy and talking about love and, cute and fuzzy bunnies. Are you kidding? We've hit the end of the line when it comes to our guns. We've hit the end of the line. What, we celebrate our weapons? Oh my God, you've got to catch next week's show of Good versus Evil with Carolyn Mace. Oh my God. And the channeling of Riz Mirza this week is off planet, out of this world. That's this Thursday. Then Carolyn Mace next week. You think that we're going to celebrate our weapons? We're going to build more weapons. We're going to build more nukes. We're going to build more this. We're going to build more bombers, more this and that. And that is going to get us out of this. That ain't power. That's fear, baby. Somebody who needs more weapons. Well, no, I can't really say that. You can't make me say that. Is having an inadequacy in a particular department. I'm going to put it a little bit differently. It means that we're afraid. We build more weapons when we're afraid, when we're actually powerless. But the real power is, I have love to share. I would love to plowshare with you. I would like to help you plant seeds. I would like to help you grow food. I would like to help you thatch a roof, build a house, tear down a wall. These are the powerful things: kindness, compassion, love. This is where the real power resides. So love is winning, and love will win the day. So what does this mean? And what does this mean we get to do in March? And that's what I went to Archangel Michael. I'm going, okay, get it. What does this really mean? And what do we really get to do in March? Well, in March, as temperatures in the Northern Hemisphere rise, yes, rise, even though we've had the snowstorm of all snowstorms in California, but that's what happens with this global wonkiness. You get a lot more moisture if you get some cold. Oh man, you get some snow, and thank God for that snow. But overall, as the temperatures on the globe are rising, and there is an attempt to control us through hatred. There's an attempt to control us through hatred. There's an attempt to control us through blaming, attempt to control us of pitting you against me, us against them. It's natural order of the old hierarchy, or you could say the old oligarchy, trying to maintain control. Last note, and then I'm going to get into what we get to do. Archangel Michael was very specific about this. He said, yes, dear one, they'll use anything. They'll use the idea of aliens. They'll use the idea of invasions. They'll use the idea of new diseases. They'll use the idea of mass extinction. They'll use the idea of pitting anything, to pit anything they can to pit one against another, the other. That's what they're doing this month. And they're going to ramp it up with hatred. But it is also a month where the light is ramping up. What does that mean? Well, here in the good old US of A and many other parts of the world coming up soon to a theater near you, 6 days from now, the clocks are springing forward. Let there be light. There shall be more light in the evenings. And it's no coincidence that's taking place in March, because we need the light to combat, in quotes, the darkness. Light doesn't actually fight darkness. If you think about it, if there's darkness and you turn on the light, there ain't no fight the light. The dark is gone. That's March. So it's no coincidence that we're having the hottest winter. We're going to have the hottest spring and the hottest summer humanity's seen in a very, very long time. It's because it's representative of the energy of change on the planet. We can actually harness this energy. Now, you could say it's representative of danger on the planet, but I want to say it as a positive. Rather than it being something dangerous, it is something that promotes powerful, positive change. That's what March is. We get to harness this power. We get to shift this energy. We get to view the world in March from a higher perspective. And yes, that's also why I have the School of Mystics, because I train everyone there. And I know so many people in here in the chat are in the School of Mystics. Train everyone to look at the world from a higher perspective. Why? Because if I've said it once, no, I don't use that expression. I've said it once 1,000 times. I will say it 1,000 times. You're a projector. There's this law of attraction that says we attract goodness, we attract things, we attract whatever we wish to manifest into our lives. What if the reverse is actually true? We create it in here and then we see it out there. What if that's what it's about? Instead of the law of attraction, it's the law of projection. Ooh, now we're talking. It's why you don't hear me regularly saying law of attraction, law of attraction, law of attraction. That ain't my shtick, baby. But now the law of projection. Now we're talking. That's what this time period is. Somebody's talking about Sasquatch, I believe, flipping out in and out of existence. The veil is certainly getting thinner if Sasquatch is here. I love it. Can I get a bear hug? Can I get a Sasquatch hug, please? How does it get any better than this? I don't make light of anything, and I don't discount anything positive. I don't discount anything positive. Why? Because we can create it with our mind. That's why I'm teaching everybody in the School of Mystics how to become a projector. And yes, we'll get a link there. We'll get a coupon code for you, because you can project a new reality. You can literally project a new reality. We've seen people heal. We've seen people get jobs. We've seen people find new partners, soulmates, twin flames, on and on it goes, because of their projections. And we can train you to project better. That's what March is. I'm calling it the power of grace. We can also call it the power of projection at the highest level, at the level of grace, at the level of love. So you are given somebody else's projections on the TV. You're given somebody else's projections on, we'll call it PNN, Projection News Network. How's that? You're getting a projection of what somebody else wants you to create. What if we shut that off and have, what would it be? IPNN? Projection News Network. My projection. MPNN, My Projection News Network. Let's project to what we want this coming month. How does it get any better than this? Let's project. Okay, we're being hit with anger. We're being hit with hatred. We're being hit with enmity, derision, division. It's you, it's me. No, it's energy. How does it get any better than this? Take that energy and transmute it. Be an alchemist, be a mystic, and go reject the reality you desire. Oh my God, can you see what's happening to this planet? Project a new reality. Oh my God, I can't believe what these people are doing or those people are doing. This is taking place. Project a new reality. You see, they don't tell you this. They don't teach you this. Is school. School needs to be about us being divine energetic beings, having an energetic experience in human form. They don't even teach us how to be a human being in school. They teach us how to fall in line. They teach us how to be afraid. They teach us how to get a job and again fall in line. But they don't teach us how to be a human being, let alone an energetic being. And they don't teach us that we can transmute energy, which means we can take in all of this negative stuff and we can turn it into something positive. Now, technically, that's called the power of grace, which is to take in the hatred, which is attempting to be seated now, turn it around and say, oh, goody, do I have a gift in my life, for my family, for my town, for my state, for my country, for my continent, for my earth, for my galaxy, for my universe. Oh my God, do I have the most amazing gift to give because of the gift of hatred, enmity, and anger you've just given me. So what we do this month, every single time it hits us and smacks us in the face, is we bring grace, we bring love, we bring an equal and opposite power to whatever we're being gifted. In other words, in a month of attempted darkness, the world is going to more light. In a month of attempted darkness, bring as much light as you can. Huzzah! Woo-hoo. Yes, 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 yes. This isn't a rah-rah talk. This is real. Look, let's be honest. I counted. I had a rough few hours before going on air tonight. And I had one negative piece of news after the next, 4 total. And I was laying down in the studio before I got up and visited Hana Bear one more time. And I'm going, angels and guides, I need your help. Angels and guides, I need your help. Angels and guides, I need your help. And they helped me transform that energy from oh my godness into oh my godness. That's what we're talking about. Now, what I'm saying specifically, I ain't the teacher who says, oh, I'm perfect. Everything is good. Everything is great. I poop roses and I float on clouds. What I'm saying is we all go down. And if somebody says they don't go down, maybe the Dalai Lama, but barring that, if somebody says they don't go down, well, guess what? Run the other way because they've got a timeshare they want to sell you or something even better. Maybe timeshares are good at this point. Who am I to judge? Maybe they're great. You have to bop around all these different places. How does it get any better than this? You get what I'm saying, though. I go down. I use the tools I teach. I come back up at a higher level. You go down. You use the tools I teach or what I'm learning here tonight or the ability to call in assistance and transmute that energy. And you bounce back up at an even higher level. So this is the month of the bounce. Because baby, chances are you're going down this month. I'm going down this month. We're all going down this month. It's the zeitgeist of this month. Not meaning you're going down and staying down. Not meaning you're going down and being crushed. What it means is you're probably going to have the wind knocked out of you once or twice this month. And then you may get the big picture and send out so much grace and so much light and so much love. So darkness doesn't stand a chance in the light of day. And this month, next week, we are springing forward. Now, of course, we're robbing Peter to say, pay Paul, as the expression goes. However, we're going to experience more light toward the end of the day. And guess what? So as mentioned earlier, evil, if you will, and to me, there's no such thing as evil. Evil to me is separation, is being lost. But evil cannot stand a chance in the light of day. Evil, which is really separation, feeling alone, feeling lost, feeling confused, feeling you need to run things through your ego, instead of your higher self, evil cannot live in the light of day. So it's not a time of growing hatred, of growing evil, and growing enmity, but it's a time when the apparent badness and whatever was pushed under the carpet will come up to the surface to be cleared, which means, forgive me, I don't know how to put it. Shit's gonna go down this month so that we can go up this month. It's all going to be ways to get you more angry with somebody else. Question. So I don't want to belabor the point, but the question is, what do we do? This is now Archangel Michael's language, not mine. What do? We become a weapon of goodness. And I said, Archangel Michael, I do not like the term weapon of goodness. And I've just been watching a Spielberg movie, Player One. And I won't give away the details, but angels and guides can read my mind. And so they knew what I'd been watching. They knew what I'd been seeing. And so what they said, and I fast forward past any violence in any movie, and I send love literally to the characters. And Archangel Michael goes, oh, you don't like the term weapons of goodness? Okay, I'm going to give you grenade launchers of love. And I'm like, oh, good grief. And I'm like, no, I don't like that term. And he goes, okay, well, how about the term that you do love? Beacons of light and beacons of love. And I go, yeah, that serves me better. We become giant lighthouses of love, and we can beam our light everywhere and transform our entire life and the entire world around you. One more time. That's why I want to teach you the power of grace beginning this Wednesday, 4 Wednesdays this month, with your friends, with your homies, recorded if you can't make it live, with clearings as well, to get you into this power where you are beaming your light on the world. We're getting you to shine so incredibly bright. March is the month where the light turns on inside of you. And whether you're going to the School of Mystics or not, you begin to shine so incredibly bright. In other words, this is the month where we feel hatred, we send love. We feel anger, we send love. We feel bigotry, derision, division. We send and seed love. We send love, we send love, we send love. Is it that simple? Is it that trite? Is it that oversimplified? Actually, it is this simple. But it must begin with our hearts. This hatred, anger, derision, division, it is an insidious one. And it sneaks up on us. So yesterday, a few days ago, I don't know, somewhere in the last week, I had a really big boo-boo that I had to deal with. And my initial snap reaction was, ah! And it wasn't something that took place today, but it was OMG. And my first response was admittedly not the best one. I immediately hit cancel, clear, release. I immediately sent out so much love. And then I immediately said, WTF is going on? Oh, I'm swimming in a sea of anger right now. I'm swimming in a sea of hatred right now. The words that initially came out of my mouth actually is one word. The word that came out of my mouth wasn't a word that I use. Wasn't a word that I use. And that was awesome. Because when it wasn't a word that I used, then I said, oh, wait a second, this ain't coming from me. I'm plugged into a field right now. So there's a small field, there's a big field. The small field, the lower level field, is a field of hatred right now, is a field of anger right now. The higher level field is a field of love. What we get to do is switch from that lower level to the higher level, but we are bathing in the lower level right now. So it may come out of you as well. If so, it's okay. Love yourself up. No, it's not you. And then do everything you can to cancel and clear it. Send love, send love, send love. Because this is a time, March, right now, 2024, is a time where we're pitted against each other, or a time we're told to hate each other, which means even if you don't want to, it is a time where it is easy to get angry with another. This is a time where it's easy to let your frustrations and judgments grow out of control, and it ain't you. It ain't even coming from you. So you find yourself picking a fight with your spouse, picking a fight with a coworker, picking a fight with an aunt, with anyone. And by aunt, I'm talking about the little crawly legged variety, although that could be your aunt as well. But you get what I'm saying. It ain't you. What's happening is we're plugging into the greater consciousness or zeitgeist of the planet at that lower level. Eckhart Tolle, it's not a term I use, but Eckhart Tolle would call that the pain body of humanity. That's what we're plugging into. And I would say, Eckhart, that's a great term, pain body of humanity. Well, what if we plug into the love body of consciousness, or the love and light body of the universe? Can you feel the difference? Pain body versus light body? That's grace, everyone. That light body is grace. Can you feel it? Now, it ain't easy. And you really get to play the role of the mystic, the sage, or the alchemist at the highest level. And I'm going to challenge you. If you're here tonight, you can do it. Sure, I can train you how to do it even better, but you can do it. You can plug in at the level of the sage, the mystic, or the alchemist, the one who sees the world from a higher perspective, the one who understands there is no us, there is no them, there is only the totality of all of us together as one. The totality of all of us together as one. We are all one people, one species, one beingness, one energy, one humanity. Once you understand that, we begin watching our emotions and understanding that judging one is judging all. We can still be frustrated when there's a boo-boo or a fire that's just taken place. You can still go, oh gosh, good grief, and grab the fire extinguisher. But then you bring it to a state of love and of oneness without judgment. You see, the ultimate weapon of them versus us, and there ain't no them, and there ain't no us, ain't hatred, ain't anger, ain't enmity, ain't derision, ain't division, ain't any of these things. The ultimate weapon is judgment. And it's early, but let's do this. Let's bring this full circle. I talked about us living in a holographic universe, in a holographic reality, where what's going on the inside is what we create in our outer reality. So when you're judging, this person is an a-hole. This person over here is a stupid. This person is a moron. This person is not trying hard enough. This person just needs to get out of my way. Whatever we do, and I'm not picking on you, it is not human nature, but is what we've been trained and entrained to do by our culture, by our society, by the tribe. That outer judgment is only reflecting an inner judgment that is saying to you, I'm less than, I'm a screw up, I'm a failure, I'm an imposter, I didn't try hard enough, I blew this, I. That outer judgment is us actually tearing ourselves apart on the inside and not sure what to do with it or how to heal with that. And so we lash out at others. Judging one is judging all. And the greatest and worst judgment of them all is judging ourselves. That's why we need to plug into grace. That's why we need to plug into the highest level love in the world. Because judgment tears the world apart, and it starts by tearing ourselves apart. So, what does this mean? Well, we may say, this politician is bad. We need to do something about him. This group or party is bad. We need to do something about them. This country or these people are bad. We need to do something about them. But we cannot. Why? Because that causes the very problem we're trying to rise above. It's not about doing something about anyone. It's about doing something in our hearts. Michael, that's too kumbaya. That's too airy fairy. That ain't going to get things down. When they're pulling out guns, when they're holding people hostage, when they're attacking, when they're killing, when they're crossing borders, when they're doing whatever. Oh, so weapons and guns, that's worked pretty well for humanity so far. Killing people, that's going well. Incarcerating them, locking them up for life, that's working. Bombing them, how's that going? None of that works. None of it works. It hasn't worked since the time of sticks and stones. It ain't gonna suddenly about to work now. We might as well try a higher level solution. You're pointing guns at me. You must be really, really hurt. You must be really, really scared. You must be in real, real trouble. Well, I'm not sure I want to sit down and have a conversation with you yet because you have a gun pointed at my head. However, if you didn't, I'd love to. But right now, what I'm going to do is send you love. I'm going to get in a circle and send you love. I'm going to get in a whole group of a town square and send you love. I'm going to get together everybody I can online or in person, and we're going to send you love. And then maybe we can send you food. Oh, goody. And then maybe we can send you some aid and other supplies. How does it get any better than this? And then we can do the kumbaya together. It all starts with not judging thy neighbor and not judging thyself for anything. We've been taught to tear ourselves apart. Yeah. Yeah. You're violent. Chances are you're violent. I'm violent too. Michael, why didn't you? I'm much better at this now, but I still go down. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? How'd you go from hero to zero? How'd you do that? That's violence. That's tearing ourselves apart. It gets to stop, or we get to do as good as we can with it by paying absolute and complete and total attention to it. And every time it comes up, because it's been programmed into our subconscious, so we clear it, we get there, and it gets reprogrammed. We clear it, we get reprogrammed. The fortunate thing is we're learning and growing, learning and growing, learning and growing as we spiral up off the mountain. But each time it comes up, we get to send out even more love. So judging anyone only creates more of the problem that we're trying to solve. Fighting against anyone only creates more of the problem we're still trying to solve, because there's still hatred, still vitriol, still judgment, still anger. Whether it is focused on someone you feel is wrong or not, that anger and judgment doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Orville Nation, thank you so much for your kind donation. How does it get any better than this? It doesn't matter where that anger or judgment is placed. It's still the energy that tears apart the planet. It's still the energy that we get to rise up above. So, full disclosure, I've been around the block a time or two when it comes to modern religion. I haven't attended all religions. Nothing could be further from the truth. But I have attended many religious groups, religious organizations, or I don't know whether, but churches, temples, things of this sort. And years ago, way back when, during a Gulf War, start of Gulf War II, I was attending, I think at that time I was attending Native American church. I was attending a Jewish synagogue, and I was attending on a regular basis, an evangelical Christian church. And beautiful, crazy, amazing, wonderful, loving people. Gulf War II starts. And both the pastor and a youth pastor spoke with us. And it was fascinating what they taught. So evangelical Christian church, or at least this church, taught a literal interpretation of the Bible. Everything you read in the Bible is quite literally true. And of course, stands by the 10 commandments. Until it came to Gulf War II. Because when it came to the Gulf War, they said, even though the 10 commandments says, thou shalt not kill, there are times where we need to do God's will and do God's work and remove evil from the planet. In other words, killing became God's work. And we needed to kill people to remove the evil from the planet. Here's where the challenge comes in with that, among other dozens, thousands, millions, infinitude of challenges. Who decides when something's evil or not? Who decides when something's really bad or not? Who decides who gets to live and who gets to be killed? That's what we call judgment. And so judgment is the greatest killer of them all. Killing is never, forgive me, killing is never God's work, or whatever we define as God, or the field of love. Killing is never the field of love's work. Evil is merely separation, confusion, chaos, or if you will, a shroud of darkness. Fighting evil with evil, for that's what trying to kill evil is. Fighting evil, this is what we called, they called it, what was it, George Bush won, a war for peace. And that's going to work well. How well is that working? Wars for peace. Fighting evil with evil, fighting hatred with hatred, fighting violence with violence in the history of histories has never had a positive outcome. Now, look at the current climate. And when I mean that, I mean, look at the, whether it's white supremacy, whether it is rampant nationalism, whether it is xenophobia, whatever is the, or certainly what's going on in Gaza in the Middle East. All of these are wounds coming up from World War II that weren't healed because you'll never win in the long term when violence fights against violence. It may be what appears to be a short-term win, but never a long-term one, because energy can't be crushed that way. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted, and you transmute it with power of grace. You transmute it with the power of love. So yeah, we may have killed, although in theory he committed suicide, Hitler, but guess what? His energy remains. And you could say it's growing more and more powerful. Why? It was never transmuted. It was never taken to the light. It was never taken from hatred and anger and brought to a higher level. Instead, our judgment to this day still remains. Now, I'm a good, I guess you could say I'm a card carrying Jew for life. I was certainly born that way. I certainly went to Hebrew school and Catholic school and all sorts of other things. But the fact remains is I was trained and entrained to really hate Hitler. Makes sense. And to really hate the Nazis. Makes sense. Until you realize, I can't believe I'm going to say this, it doesn't make sense. Because that is treating evil with evil, treating separation with separation, treating anger with anger, violence with violence, and judgment with judgment. Even for somebody who's turned into a maniacal loon and is trying to wipe a species or a beingness, what would be, no, we're not a species of Jews. What's the word? A race, genocide off of the planet. And there are genocides going on right now, and we get to get them stopped by bringing in the love, heavy doses of love, starting right now. But it is never solved with any judgment. Jeff De Silva, how does it get any better than this? Thank you, Jeff, for your kind donation. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? The only way to fight violence, to fight evil, to fight anything, and here I'm kind of using tongue-in-cheek Archangel Michael's words. The only way is to bring people in with love, to sit down in the table with love, to above and beyond all else, beam them with love. So a couple last things, then I'm going to open it up to some questions here. Last week, and people in our School of Mystics are familiar with this, I had and in our daily woohoo, I was sharing about it, I had a dental procedure. I basically had cracked a few teeth on a bike ride across the country, done out of love, decades ago. And I had a few implants put in. And one of those implants hasn't been doing well and recently got an infection under it. And the post was literally being pushed up to the surface. Ow, how does it get any better than this? Well, it's 2024. It's when things that are below the surface that get to be cleared get to come up. And Jeff, welcome to this backstage pass, and you've got to check out the videos of me with the shave. You can have fun with that. Everything that's below the surface gets pushed up in order to be cleared. So I found myself in we're going to call it minor dental surgery last week, having this post removed and having the you can close your ears right now, having the infection scraped out of my bone or out of my jawbone. How does it get any better than this last week? So I'm sitting in the dental chair. What do? I kick back. I drooled. And I closed my eyes and I sent love. I sent light. I sent love. I sent light. I breathed in light. I sent out love. I breathed in light. Sent out love. I breathed in light and love and light and love. And I just tried with my eyes closed to make this room just beam with love and light, to grow so incredibly bright, and to just have this bubble around us of such incredible love and light. And at the end of it, the dental assistant may say this to every patient. She's like, wow, you were such a good patient. I hadn't said anything. And the dentist is like, you're a really good patient. I hadn't said anything. And he's like, I think that went really well. And he's like ready to do a dance. And maybe that's just his nature. But the room felt good. The room felt great. Well, guess what? We could do that over the whole planet. We can do that over the whole world. We could beam them with love. So the more hatred, the more violence, the more anger, the more things are heated up, the more attempted separation, the more we get to counter this. And you are powerful. You can make a difference. You do make a difference with your love, with your light. You make a huge difference. We get to counter this with everything we have. We get to understand at a higher level, and we get to look at and listen with our hearts. That's what this time period, March, is about, going from hatred to the heart, which is the power of grace. On top of healing our own hearts, we get to see, where is there division in my heart? Where is there fear in my heart? Where is there separation in my heart? And we get to ruthlessly snuff it out and bring it into the light and observe it with everything we've got. This is huge. Look for any black coal that's in your heart and bring it out to the light of day. I'm going to say snuff it out, which means bring it out to the light of day, and observe it with everything you've got. And then give yourself the healthiest injection of pure goodness you can. What's the antidote to the darkness that's in each one of our hearts? Most of our hearts. Love. Love, love, love. Does this mean going to the news and sending love when we see people that we're told or we wish to hate? Yes, send them love. Does this mean that we see people who we think are creating all these problems in the world and we send them love? Absolutely. Did we get to look at where we tripped and fell and we're pissed off with ourselves and send ourselves love? Absolutely. Do we look at people who are going, oh my God, they're saying we need to drill, baby, drill. We need to drill as much oil as we possibly can right now, because that's going to give us the money to keep the planet from heating up. What? Do we get to send them love? Absolutely. For if we were to call this a battle, and that's Archangel Michael's term, not mine, then the battle for good over evil, of light versus darkness, is simply a battle of separation versus love. That's what this time period is a battle of separation over love. And separation, a battle over separation, ain't going to be won with weapons. It ain't going to be won with words. It ain't going to be won with words, with rhetoric, or us versus them, or by a vote. Let's be honest. Everything ain't going to be suddenly fixed by a vote. And it ain't going to be fixed by a verdict. It ain't going to be fixed by one party over the other. It will only be met and answered and won with one thing: love, 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 love. And doubling back around, as the Beatles said, all we need is love. Is it weak? No. Is it naive? No. Is it too late? Heavens, no. Just the opposite. March is the time for love. As the birds start singing, go to love. As the light comes out more, go to love. As the temperatures are warming up, go to love. As the flowers come out, go to love. This is the time of love. This is the power of grace. And this is the power you bring to your heart onwards and forwards from here, from March 2024. So, in addition to coming and joining us in the School of Mystics, we're going to help you bring this to a whole new level and empower you beyond anything you could possibly imagine. This is your time. You have your marching orders. It is time to get busy. Welcome, Orville Nation, to the Backstage Pass as well. This is your time to get busy. This is your time to play in love, to send love, to bathe yourself in love, and to play in the power of grace and love itself. And this, with this power, is the ultimate forgiveness. I want you to understand that. With this power is the ultimate forgiveness, meaning we get to send our enemies love. Oh, goody. You want to change the planet? Send the ones that piss you off the most, that scare you the most, that make you want to reach for weapons the most. Send them love. And individually and collectively, we will change the world. And yes, how does it get any better than this? Am I preaching to the choir? Perhaps. Does it make a difference? Absolutely. Can each one of us, even in our armchairs, make a difference on this planet? Oh my God, you betcha. You are a divine energetic being, having a divine energetic angelic experience from your armchair. And you can broadcast out as much energy as the best of them. In fact, love is 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more powerful than hatred. It's not nearly as seductive, though, which is why people go to the dark side. Because the dark side is all about focusing on and feeding on your fears. But when we drop the fears and we play at the level of the mystic, we plug into the power of grace. When we sound out love, oh my God, are we powerful? So when you sit in the chair and you watch the news, please don't. But if you watch the news and you go, oh my God, send love. You see something on Facebook or Meta or whatever they want to call these things these days, is send love. You go to X, send love. Send love. Send love, send love. It's real, it's powerful, it's palpable. It ain't sexy, but it's powerful. And it doesn't have the rage and energy that being a victim does. They get you with that rage and energy of being a victim, but it is far more powerful and it is transformative. Understand this. And this is something that was proven by Lynn McTaggart, who we've had on several times in the last few years. Lynn McTaggart, a hard-nosed investigative reporter, found when she got together small groups of people and focused on love, focused on healing, focused on peace, focused on whatever together is one, which is focusing on love. Everybody in the group experienced miracles, spontaneous remission, spontaneous healings, spontaneous finances. How does it get any better than this? Because when you focus on love, everything in your life and all the lives around you changes, even if you're not focusing on it yourself. If I'm simply focusing on sending love to this hated politician, sending love to this XYZ party that I don't agree with, sending love to these people over here that are freaking me out, sending love here, sending love there, all of a sudden, my finances get better. I find more peace. I find more happiness. I've just healed. Another thing takes place, and another positive takes place, all without you actually doing anything about your own life. You are simply bathing in the waters of grace, and it changes everything. And thank you, Jeff Silva, again. How does it get any better than this? When you bathe in the waters of grace, when you send out love, watch out, because miracles are coming. Miracles abound, and the more goodness and greatness you put out, the more goodness and greatness you will appear before you without you even trying. And that, to me, is a mighty, mighty woohoo. So now we've gone much longer than I expected, but I want to And I'm looking at this, and we just passed in my notes angel number 222, which I've been teaching about in the angel number program I've been making this weekend. And 222 is the number of co-creation and the number of discernment, meaning we send out all the love we can, we create whatever we can, and we look both ways before we cross the road. So I was going to say, I'm going to take a sip of water and then we are going to get into some questions. But guess what? Whoops, I don't have any water in here. So I'm going to pretend I've got some water. And then let's go on to a few questions. And then we are going to dive into a very short Power of Grace meditation. Of course, please come join me. I put a discount code down there, Grace 60, for you to come join me. I would love, love, love to help transform you into the mystic you are always meant to be, seeing the world from a higher perspective, vibrating from a higher level, free from the fear, worry, and anxiety that's down below you. It doesn't mean you're not going to have challenges, but you become so much more powerful, so much more empowered in your life, and you feel so much better as well. You become such a glowing spark plug of a beaming beacon of bright and shiny light and love. So come join us this Wednesday, 4 Wednesdays this month, 4th Wednesday in the month. We do powerful clearings. I rarely talk about them. I need to talk about them more on air because people here will share, those that are in our School of Mystics, just how powerful these clearings are. It's perhaps the best thing that I do. I'll put that in quotes in our School of Mystics, but I will help clear those wounds and I will help get you light. And that's just part of the School of Mystics, or part of how I help you to shine bright. And we'll get a coupon code there for you as well. All right. Let's go to a few questions. And I am looking around going, boy, do I want water. I'm like, is there water on my training bike next to me? Nope. Water over there. Water over there. Water, Eddie. I don't know why I'm going to even look around. It's just not here. From string theories. When doing automatic writing, is it possible to compromise the integrity of the message? Example, doing it at night when I feel led to do it in the morning or anything like that. So string theory, there's no way to really compromise the integrity of the message. You can, however, not be getting the message from your higher self and getting it from your ego. And that's actually quite easy to test for. It seems there are a couple key laws in the universe. One is which we can't get help from our angels unless we ask. And second, if you're doing your automatic writing or any channel process and you're not sure if it's coming from you or your ego and you ask, your ego has to answer. So if you say in the middle of the night, is this my ego? The ego will actually tell you. Now, string theory, I do know this. If you're doing it in the middle of the night when typically you do it in the morning, but you're exhausted and you're kind of beside yourself, meaning dopey, sleepy, or you got up from your deep sleep and you felt called to write, that's actually pretty awesome. And the odds of getting good information at those times is incredibly high. But last string theory, and this goes with prayer, this goes with listening to our angels and guides, and I'm building a whole program on that too. That goes with any of these pieces. Always check in with your heart. That's where we're going with everything. That's what March is. It's from hatred to the heart. That's the power of grace. Check in with your heart and ask, how does this make you feel? Because if it feels good, chances are it ain't coming from you. If it doesn't feel good, chances are it is coming from you. And it's a very easy way to tell, is this my automatic writing or not? Next question from Mary. How does he wake you at night? Please tell. Warmth. I wake up and I feel a heat over my body and I'm so warm, I can't get back to bed. So like last night, I actually went and crawled out of bed and went and looked at the thermostat, and it's the same temperature it is every night. But I was so, technical spiritual term, freaking hot. And so I go back to bed and I've got no sheets on or no blankets on. I'm going, I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm hot. I can't sleep. Maybe I go outside for a few minutes. I'm so hot, I'm so hot. And eventually I go, I get it. You brought my body temperature up. You want me to write. I get it. I get it. I get it. So typically it's not a nudge, although over this past month, I have gotten more nudges and more bumps from some good things from the other side than I ever have cumulatively in my life. Points where, and I'm guessing part of it is my daughter on the other side of the veil, Miraku, where all of a sudden I'm poked and I'm not asleep. I'll literally look on the bed. Nope, no cats here. Nobody with a broom here. All right, I got you. You're wanting my attention. But then it's that body heat that keeps me awake. Megan, this is going to be a brilliant question. I just know it. I'm only a few words in. If we as empaths are trying to be love and light and teaching others, how do we find people in person to be our friends who actually vibrate at the level we're at? Megan, like attracts like. Well, okay, we're empaths. We're energetically sensitive. We got two things. Like attracts life and like attracts narcissists until we learn how to bubble up and not feed the narcissist. So we get to learn how to envelop ourselves in a bubble of love and light. And whenever a narcissist appears, turn the other way. Now that we've got that out of the way, like attracts like. The more that you're beaming light, the more that you're feeling light, the more that you're beaming love, the more suddenly you are going to literally find people who do and feel the same way, even in the middle of the desert. And Jessica and I, 3 years ago, lived outside of Joshua Tree, California, a little town called Yucca Valley, or as we lovingly call it, Yucca Yucca. We're literally living in the middle of the desert. And those people still found us, not because of the show, not because of anything we were saying, just because of the love and light we are radiating. So, Megan, like attracts light, and you're an energetic being having an energetic experience, meaning you play with the energy on the inside and you will project a new reality on the outside as well. Amy, and lots of love, Megan, and lots of love, Amy. Since there's clearly an ongoing display of an ongoing display of unkindness, perfectly put, how will it go? How can we get it to leave so we can move forward? These are very interesting questions. How will it go? Ugly in the short term. How short? Who knows? Whether that's short term March, not my guess. Short term this year, I don't know if that's my guess. Short term next few years, yeah, that'd be my guess. The more love we bring, the shorter it is. But the more important part of this question isn't the timing of it. It's how can we get it to leave so we can move forward? Amy, I almost have a tongue-in-cheek answer to this one. So please forgive me. You know me well. Please forgive me for this. Amy, how it's going to go. Or how do we get it to leave so we can move forward? Even or especially because of the display of unkindness, we're moving forward. We're spiraling upwards. So we don't have to get it to leave. That's like asking the darkness to leave. All we need to do is bring more and more light and things will naturally change. But we don't have to worry about, well, that's keeping us from moving forward because that's putting ourselves in a disempowered victim role. It ain't keeping us from moving forward. We are always moving forward. We are always ascending. Humanity has made a choice to shift and to make it. It can be a challenge as far as the speed of things, and we always want them sooner rather than later, except when it means that we have to leave our friends and family to go do something we don't want to do. That's a different story. But barring that, we want things sooner rather than later. But it is all happening with divine timing. Put another way, many a business has gone out of business. We're going to go entrepreneurial on you, Amy. Many a business has gone out of business by having too much success too quickly and not being able to keep up with it. Put another way, if we had Tesla's free energy right now, we probably would have blown ourselves up. We don't know how to handle it. So it's coming along at just the pace it needs to come along for all of humanity. And we can bring even more love and even more light to it to help usher it along just a little quicker. And that's what I encourage all of us to do, because we can have things the hard way or we can have things the easy way. I'd rather them coming from a place of power, of love, of kindness, of compassion, of forgiveness, and of grace by bringing as much love and grace as we can. But I promise you, no matter what, we aren't stuck and we are moving forward. Linda, how do we transition to the other side with our consciousness intact? Ooh, wow. Linda, what a powerful, profound question. Don't worry about it. As someone who's had 2 near-death experiences, your consciousness ain't staying behind because there is no behind, Linda. This is a holodeck. This is an illusion. It's not that it doesn't hurt if you fall, and if you fall off of a roof, you're not in big trouble. But you're only in big trouble here. This is an energetic illusion. Your consciousness, your beingness, your light, your love, your lessons, they're energy, and they cannot be created or destroyed. It's always here, no matter whether you've got a rental suit on or not. So we in no way have to worry about, well, that's just not coming with us. I promise you, that is what's coming with you, because that is you at the end of the day. So there is no need to concern yourself with at all. Will my consciousness be intact? Will it come with me? Now, what will not be intact, as best as I can tell, are your judgments, are your anger, are your disappointments, are your guilt, are your shames, are your horrors, are your embarrassments, are your wounds. Those don't transition to the other side. The learnings behind them do. That's why everything here matters. And the more kindness we can do, the better, so that we get to the other side. And I can already see myself on the other side going about today and saying, when you were struggling earlier, you could have spent more time with Hannah Bear. You could have played with Hannah Bear more. I can see myself on the other side of the veil saying that, not out of judgment, but saying, what can you learn from that? Oh. And then if I can see that, I can do even better. Put that in quotes, even better now. But our consciousness, that's intact. Our heart, that's intact. It's just those human elements, those judgments, those fears, worries, and concerns. They are kicked out the back door because they belong to the meat suit and the nervous system, not to our true higher divine selves. Karen, wait, what do you mean there's only 350 right whales left? There are many different whales in this world. And from what I understand, and I am not a whale expert at all, the right whale, it's a whale that likes to live very close to the surface. It's a whale that's been very easy to hunt in the past. It's a whale where there's some really famous whaling songs right now. They were written about or sung about hunting right whales. The right whale has been hunted to near extinction. There's supposedly about 350 of them left in the wild. I was just reading about them in a kid's book with Hannah Bear. Jessica technically was reading it to Hannah Bear yesterday as we were driving down the road. After making a small donation, getting this tiny little right whale that Hannah Bear is playing with, plastic right whale, that they are breeding grounds and they give birth from November to March. Breeding grounds are Georgia to northern Florida. And then they head out from that as the waters get warmer. But only about 350 right whales left that we know about. And I want to project into this reality. Now there's 360. Now there's 370. Now there's 400. Now there's 500. Now there's 600. Remember, we are projectors. What do we want to project to this new reality? Mariko, how do we stop the chemical companies from dropping the chemtrails into our air? Will it dissolve if everyone is filled with love, or do we take actions to make them stop? So, Mariko, beautiful question. First off, we project a new reality where it's gone. That's what we do. We imagine the sky being completely clear. That's projecting a new reality. We send love, not just to the chemical companies, because is it the chemical companies? Is it the leaders who's doing these experiments? What are they hoping to get out of this? We send love to anyone and everyone involved. And then we be discerning, like looking both ways when we cross the street. We say, what steps can I take so that this stops? This is an interesting one because it is so hidden under the carpet that even some of the top scientists on the planet will say, you're nuts. Of course, the top scientists on the planet would also say till recently, you're nuts when it comes to extraterrestrials. Now they're coming around there. So what do? We imagine, which means to project a new reality. We send love. And if we see an opportunity like you're doing right here, right now, Mariko, when I say step forward, Mariko, you just did that. What do you mean? You spoke about it with me. You spoke about it with others. You spoke about it in the forum. That makes a difference. You see, I don't see talking as a weapon. I see talking and openness as pure and total love. How do I have cleaner air for my children? I used to be a sunrise and sunset photographer in Colorado, specifically Boulder, Colorado. Used to have pictures up all around town and galleries and in the rec centers and cafes. It was pretty cool. It was fun. All came out of my first near-death experience when I started seeing colors and light differently. And then I started to get some really hazy sunsets. And then I got to get all these tic-tac-toes in the sky. And then I got really bad and really ugly. And trying to take pictures was really, really difficult. And I could say, do you see that? And people go, oh, that is just a plane overhead. I'm like, no, man, that's not just a plane. But I can go to hatred, I can go to anger, or I can go to love, and I can talk about it. And the more you go, hey, did you see that? Did you see it? Do you remember a few years ago it didn't look like that? Do you know if you take a look on pictures or something? I mean, if you look on YouTube right now, you see tic-tac-toe in the sky. But if you look a few years ago, it wasn't that way. The more you talk about these things, the better, Mariko. So I'm so, so glad you're saying it. And these answers are not trite. Am I big into picketing? Not my thing. Can we do it? Well, can we picket for love? Because picketing against something ain't going to work. Can you find a way to bring love to the solution? Because whatever chemicals are being dropped are being done so out of fear, well, out of control, which is really out of fear. That's why we got to bring more and more love to the situation. All right. Care Bear. Oh, I love it. And we got time for, I think, 2 more questions here. Care Bear. Do you talk about when this division happens in our own homes and families? I give positivity and am respectful, yet still get undeserved negativity released on me. I'm becoming weary of it. Well, Care Bear, we've got big choices to be made. I don't know your situation. Chances are you're not as mobile as I would love you to be in this situation, but you are more mobile than you deem yourself to be. If possible, we don't want to keep ourselves ever in an abusive situation. So we can send all the love we want. Yet if we're being abused energetically or physically in a home situation, we exit stage right, even if it isn't easy. Now, obviously, it depends on your medical condition, depends on your age, then depends on your finances. But we do what we can to get the hell out. So undeserved negativity does not mean you stay in that relationship or stay in that homestead no matter what. So I get to challenge you. Is there anything that can be done? If not, then you put up your bubble of love and light and you share only what needs to be shared. You share only what needs to be shared. And then you do what you can to get yourself around more loving, kind, compassionate, and like-minded individuals with everything you've got. You can forgive them, you can love them, but you don't need to do a dance with them. From Yvette. Oh, okay. We're going to take these last 2 questions. We got Yvette and then Cosmic Anu with the last question of the evening. Yvette, I've always been a heart-based person giving healing and holistic services. Now my heart needs help. Will I be all right? I have to see a specialist. I am writing and working on healing. Will I be okay? So my initial hit, Yvette, is yes, 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 and yes. And that you're going to learn lessons at a higher level, specifically because of the challenges with your heart. It's always the poison and the cure are always side by side. So the reason that you're having heart challenges is to help open your heart to an even higher level. But the will I be okay is one that we get to address as well. Forgive me, but the angels wouldn't let me go if I didn't share this. Always get to address as a highest level as well. We are always okay. We always will be okay. It's a matter of, will my physical beingness be okay? Not always. In this case, I truly believe the answer is yes. Future isn't always written, but I truly believe the answer is yes, yes, yes. That's what I just keep hearing. Yes, 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 yes. However, and I know this in my heart of hearts of hearts, even if you're not okay, you're okay. Ian, and this sounds so trite, so silly, and not something that we really want to hear. But even if you're not okay, you will be okay. And if you can embody this, you can let go at a higher level, which only helps your heart even more. Cosmic Canoe. What should we use to ward away negative entities? Florida water, sage, what really works? Okay, brilliant question. Well, if you've got negative energies, I like first and foremost to bring it to a higher power. Bring it to an enlightened master. Bring it to Jesus. Bring it to Buddha. Bring it to Archangel Michael. Bring it to Allah. Bring it to whomever or whatever feels like an enlightened master or beingness that you can go to that help you with this, and have them help remove this negative entity or entities from your environment. Now, I have done clearings on this, and it's interesting. I'm checking in, and yes, I get to do a group clearing. I don't know if it will be in this month's School of Mystics, but I get to do a group clearing on negative entity or entities. And I'm going, oh my gosh, that's going to be a biggie. And I can hear people saying, please do it this month. Please do it this month. We will see about this. But you can do clearings on your own. You can certainly get somebody to do clearings with you. Florida water, I hadn't actually heard that one, and I live in Florida, but it could be. Sage absolutely does work. Crystals does work. Salt, helpful. All of these things. And Jessica and I have experienced our share of ooga boogas in our lives. We always go to light, go to love, go to the highest powers we can. And then we always typically call in a shaman or somebody whose work specifically, whose profession it is to help clear these things and get the highest level here on earth assistance we can as well. So now I'm once again going to these brilliant, beautiful questions. And thank you, Cosmic Anu. And you can do this. You can get these cleared out of light, out of love, and out of kindness and compassion. Whenever I do clearing work, and I've done a lot of negative entity clearings on people myself, although I go to the real pros when I need something done for our family. But I am always, when I send a negative entity back, now put that in quotes, negative entity back to the light, because it means they're confused and lost, I am always sending them love and letting them know they are going to be okay. Always. Negativity, separation, evil comes from fear. And there are many entities out there that have a fear of the light, a fear of going home, or a fear of being annihilated. And so you can even send them love as well. All right. So now I'm going to, again, pretend to take some water. Glug, 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 glug. And Wednesday night for the School of Mystics, I promise I will have some water standing by, as I do almost each and every time, other than tonight's beautiful event. And I know it's because I went down briefly before tonight. I admit it. I went down. It was those 4 points. And I was laying down on the ground going, oh, and I didn't get my water. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Let's do a very, very brief meditation. And I love you guys. I just want to say that I love you so much. And if you can come join us Wednesday, we're just going to have a beautiful love fest as we go to the power of grace this month. Oh my God, is it going to be goody? And I promise an amazing clearing at the end of the month. Not sure if I'm going to do negative entities or not. That is just crazy. The universe is telling me yes. I will not make that promise right now, but the universe is telling me yes. I've done some crazy big meditations on people or big clearings on people. And it's interesting. They're saying the ultimate power of grace is to bring grace and love to the negative entities. Can we bookmark that one? They're going, oh yeah, we're coming back to you on it though. Oh, goody. All right. I love you guys. And thank you, Aya Bear. Thank you, Ann Bear. Thank you, Super Bobs. Thank you, Marge. Thank you, everybody on our dream team. And thank you, you. So what we're going to do in a really short dry mouth meditation here is, it's not a short mouth, dry mouth meditation because I'm seeing the water, I'm feeling the water, I'm tasting the water, I'm projecting the water, I'm being the water. I am replenished. I am quenched. I am good. Let's have you close your eyes. Let's have you pitter patter your feet on the ground. Let's have you, I don't know, pitter patter your arms in your lap, your hands on your thighs, your buttocks on the chair. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. And again, in and out. In and out. And as we keep breathing in and out together, we are going to have the most amazing, brilliant circle of light here tonight. So what I would like you to do is hold hands with somebody, and this is everybody who's here in the group, past, future, and present, who's watching this video, I want you to hold hands with somebody energetically to your right. They're safe, don't worry. Hold hands energetically with somebody to your left. They also won't bite, but they might love you. And we breathe in and lean to the right together. We breathe out and lean to the left. In and out. In and out. Now, what we're going to do as we do this brief, brilliant prayer circle of love and light together is I want you, I can't believe I'm going to say this, I want you to imagine there at the center of the circle something or someone you do not like, something or someone you do not agree with, something or someone you feel is hurting humanity, is hurting the earth, or is hurting the entire world. And what I'd like you to do is not focus on them, but instead, I want you to focus on your heart. In fact, you can put your hand on your heart, and I want you to breathe in and feel your heart begin to glow, and you breathe out. Send just a little bit of love out. You breathe in, you feel your heart beginning to grow even brighter, and you breathe out. You start to breathe out just a little bit more love, maybe toward the center of the circle. You breathe in. You can feel not only the heart, but there's a giant sun growing inside of you, and you breathe out, and now you're belching out, breathing out, pushing out so much love. And you breathe in. The light inside of you is growing so incredibly bright. It's filling your entire chest, and you send out love, and that love reaches to the center of the circle, and it's beginning to glow. And you breathe in even more light, and all of a sudden there is light coming through, bursting through every seam of your body. It's coming out of your skin, it's coming out of your pores, it's coming out the top of your head, and you send out so much love that whatever you judge, whatever was in the center of the circle is completely gone. And you breathe in even more light, and all of a sudden you have burst into a sun here on earth. And you look around you, there's a sun to your right, there's a sun to your left, and you send out love to everyone in the circle, to everyone you can see, to everyone near and wide, as far as you can see. And you breathe in even more light, and now you are beaming so much light. You are a sun here on earth, and you send out love to the entire planet, helping heal everything and everyone everywhere. But it doesn't stop there. You breathe in even more light, and all of a sudden you are as big a sun as the sun itself in this solar system. And you breathe out and you send love to everything, to everyone on every planet in this solar system and beyond. And you breathe in again, and now you are glowing so bright, you are illuminating the entire galaxy. And how does it get any better than this? And you breathe out love, you send out love, you heal everything and everyone in the entire galaxy. And you breathe in light, breathe in light, breathe in light. And now you are so bright. You have illuminated every galaxy in the entire universe and are giving everyone your light and everyone your love. And how does it get any better than this? And you breathe in again, you breathe in so much light, you are glowing so incredibly bright that you have the entire luminosity of the universe inside of you, beaming out light and love to everything. And one more time, you breathe in light, and now you have grown and glowed so incredibly bright. You aren't just illuminating this universe, but you are illuminating every universe and every alternative reality from the beginning to the end of time, looping back around to the infinitude and beyond. And you are sending out love, you are sending out love, and you are sending out love. And you, as this starseed, as this star child, as this superstar and supernova, as the brightest sun there has ever been, are healing everyone and everything without exception everywhere. We breathe in again, we take in that glow, we feel it, we bask in it, we soak in it, and we breathe out. We breathe in this light, and we find ourselves now at such complete and total peace. We breathe in light, and we know we are one. We are the sun. We are light. We are love. We are whole. And we breathe in one more time. knowing we aren't just a projector of our own reality, sending out light everywhere we can, but we can change the entire world before us with light, with love, and with the incredible power of grace, which is who and what you are. As we open up our eyes, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Woohoo! Come join us Wednesday. Oh my God, are we going to have an amazing class? Oh my God, are we going to have an amazing clearing coming up as well? Oh my God, am I going to help you to vibrate at the highest level, to shine even more of this light out among the planet, to change your life, to change the lives around you, and to have you vibrating at such a level that the fear, worry, anxiety, and darkness, they don't stand a chance in your world. And the world may even seem a little bit saner to you too, because that's the level of the mystic, and that's the power of grace. If you don't want that right now, well, come join us for our daily newsletter. It's free, dailywoohoo.com. Sign up at dailywoohoo.com. Of course, I've got a coupon code if you do want to come join us Wednesday, but dailywoohoo.com. Each and every day, I go into my automatic writing and I bring back out of that love and out of that light something that brings you up, and way up for the entire day ahead. That's dailywoohoo.com. So I'm going to go get some water and get some sleep. Lots of love, Aya Bear, lots of love, Ann Bear, Bob's Bear, Super Bob's, Marge Bear, everyone on the dream team. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. At the tonight, you are gonna shine bright. Woo-hoo. How does it get any better than this? Well, see you Wednesday. Lots of love. Oh, Thursday, we've got Riz Mirza. Don't forget about that. Next Thursday, we've got Carla Mace. Don't forget about that. And of course, I will see you this coming Monday as well. Lots of love. Woo! Bye. Is humanity ascending?
Ascension doesn't go this way. Ascension goes this way. There are stages of how deep you go with your surrender. You're not your body. You're not your intellect. You're not your personality. You're not your beliefs. You're the awareness that can change everything.
What's the one most important thing we need to know right now?
We are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. You find your power and your source by something so big that everything about that thing becomes your way of life. Answers are all inside of you.
What does your channel guide Redigo have to say about this?
To be free from fear, you have to change your core beliefs, because you became nearer and surrendered to life itself. A fearless life is possible. What will you do then?
Are you ready to shine? Shine bright. Woohoo!
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitation.